Michael Jai White. You won't believe what happens next. The man who built a career on breaking boards and breaking faces actually hit his hardest losses off camera. Sounds like a movie line, right? But this is the real life of a fighter who became a star, and it's messier than any stunt scene. He grew up in Brooklyn, a kid surrounded by street fights and danger. At 7, he walked into his first martial arts class and never left. That discipline, the kicks, the drills, the hours of sweat shaped everything that came after. By the time Hollywood noticed him, he wasn't just pretty on camera. He was a real-deal martial artist with multiple black belts in styles like Shotokan, Goju-Ryu, Taekwondo, Tang Soo Do, Kobudo, and Jiu-Jitsu. People respected that. Directors noticed it, and the roles followed. If you only saw him on screen, you knew him as the unbreakable type, from playing Mike Tyson in a TV biopic to becoming the lead in a comics-based movie that put a black superhero on a big screen in a way few had seen before. He starred in hard-hitting action films, teamed up with major names, and even showed up in a small but memorable part in a massive blockbuster as a crime boss called Gambo. He didn't just act in fights, he lived them. He directed, produced, and wrote at times, proving he could do more than throw punches. He could craft a whole story around them. But life offset? Different film. When he was just a teen, everything changed. He admits he became a father at 15. The mother was older. That single choice or mistake, depending on how you look at it, rewired his life. Suddenly, there was no more just training and dreaming. Responsibility landed on him hard, and he has said it forced him to grow up quicker than most teens. That early shock followed him for years. Years later, tragedy struck. That son, born when he was still a boy, battled addiction and health problems for a long time. In 2021, the son died after a long struggle, with COVID-19 delivering the final blow to a body already weakened by years of hardship. The actor has spoken about that pain in interviews. He choked up describing it. You can imagine the pride and the guilt wrapped together a professional fighter brought to his knees by grief. No stunt could prepare him for that. Romance and marriage didn't stay far from headlines either. He married a successful doctor in 2005, a union that looked solid to outsiders. But by 2011, they were divorced. Rumors swirled, whispers of an affair with a well-known TV personality made the rounds, and even if the details were never fully aired in public, the damage to the family story was done. Hollywood loves a neat hero. Life rarely stays neat. Then came public feuds that made him look like a troublemaker to some and a truth-teller to others. He didn't shy away from calling out famous peers, saying that some big action stars were all smoke and mirrors, great at looking tough on film, but not real fighters in his view. That bluntness split people. Some applauded his honesty, others slammed him for disrespect. But that's part of his personality. He trained for real fights, and he judges performance by real standards. He says the scripts and the stunts matter. He wants authenticity. And when he thinks an industry shortcut is at work, he'll say it loudly. Legal trouble made things worse. In recent years, a custody dispute with a woman he dated put his parenting under a microscope. Court filings accused him of dangerous driving and losing his temper while their child was in the car. Judges cut back his custodial time, and appeals didn't restore everything he wanted. The headlines treated it like another fall from grace. A screen tough guy judged unsafe in one of the most private fights a parent can face. Whether you see him as reckless or simply human, someone who made mistakes, the court record became part of his public story. It's tempting to draw a straight line. Rough kid champion star scandal tragedy. But real lives are not neat lines. They're a series of hits and recoveries. The same intensity that made him an unforgettable action lead also fuels his blunt talk, his impatience with plastic performances, and his fierce love for family, even when that love didn't always look perfect. He kept working. Films like the hard-hitting Prison Fighter sequels, a parody that showed his range and sense of humor, and smaller parts in massive films kept him visible. He taught martial arts to younger generations. He got married again and tried to build peace where he could. But the scars stayed. Losing a child, losing trust in a marriage, a judge limiting the time he spends with a young child. Those are real defeats that no choreography can fix. And maybe that's the most powerful thing about him. He never pretends to be the victim. In interviews, he's said that pain is a teacher, not a punishment. He talks about how discipline saved his life, how every setback forced him to look inward instead of lashing out. When you've lost a son, been dragged through courts, and had your name tossed around in headlines, it's easy to get bitter. But he didn't. He went back to what he knew: the dojo, the grind, the work. That same drive that made him a martial arts legend became his therapy. So here's the thing to sit with. Can you separate the man on the screen from the man off it? Do the punches and kicks he throws for a living mean less when you learn about his messy off-camera life? Or do those flaws make him more human, maybe even more interesting? When a star who looks invincible admits to failure and pain, it strips away the fantasy and leaves us with something raw and real. Now, ask yourself, what do you want from your heroes? Flawless perfection or honesty with scars? Because the truth is, he's still in the ring. Maybe the rounds are different now. Maybe the opponents are. Grief and regret and paperwork instead of movie villains. But he's still fighting, still training, still creating, still trying to be a father, still refusing to fake what he believes about his craft. If this story surprised you, hit like. If you want more honest takes on the people we think we know, subscribe and ring the bell. Tell me in the comments what surprised you most about this fighter's life. The early fatherhood, the public feuds, the custody fight, or the heartbreak of losing a child. The best responses might be featured next time.